Namaste, everyone, and welcome to Anchor the Light, to our Persian spiritual brothers and sisters. Saleh no Mubarak. I hope I said that right. It's Happy New Year. So, in honor of that, I want to just talk a little bit about a topic we've talked before, which is a Persian proverb, which is also seen in Sanskrit, also in Arabic, and even attributed to some Confucian teachings. So here it goes. It says there are 4 types of people. Okay, let me just share that with you. And the verse is actually quite simple and powerful. He who knows not and does not know is a fool. Shun him. He who knows not and knows, he's simple, teach him. He who knows and knows not, he's asleep, wake him up. He who knows and knows, he is wise, follow him. All right, so you have 4 types of people. These 4 types of people basically describes an ignorant fool, an apprentice, a student, or in India we call it a chela, a disciple student, and then you have the dormant disciple, and the last one, he who knows and knows he is wise, follow him. That's an enlightened teacher or a prophet. Okay, let's do this again. So number 1, he who knows and knows not, he who knows not and doesn't know, doesn't know anything, is a fool. He's ignorant of his ignorance. Okay? The second one is, he who knows not and knows, you talk about a student or a disciple who he knows not and knows at the same time. So in other words, he knows that he doesn't know as much, so he's willing to learn. That's a disciple or student. He who knows and knows not, in other words, he has the skills, he has the qualities, but it has not been cultivated or brought to the surface. It has not unraveled. That's a spiritual disciple. The potential is there. The soul is very advanced or relatively advanced. The teacher just has to what? Open it up. And the last one, he who knows and knows he is wise, follow him. That's an enlightened teacher. In other words, this person already knows their level of spiritual development, their level of expertise in the subject, and they know that they know. That's, if it's spiritual teachings, be a spiritual master. In other words, they are aware of their true potential. Now, it's interesting. There's this guy, Noel Birch of Gordon Training in the 1970s, also came up with the levels of competency, right? These levels of competency, and the first one is unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. Makes sense. If you have a fool, a person that has no clue, that he doesn't know anything. So unconscious, they're incompetent, and they're not aware they're incompetent. Make sense? So these people have a tendency to gloat. You know, every little thing they have, even if they don't have it, they put up a facade. You know, I'm so smart, I know everything. These are the kind of people, when you talk to them, you're not even knowing your conversation. They go, I know. But in reality, they don't know anything, but they just have to keep spewing out stuff to cover up the incompetence. They don't think they're incompetent. They don't think they're empty inside, don't know anything, but somehow the emotional aspect of it takes over the mental aspect, or the intellectual, or the lack of intellectual prowess within them, and they just spew out stuff. Unconscious incompetence. So in ancient times, they don't have something that complicated, so they just call him the ignorant fool. Very simple. Next one is conscious incompetence. They're conscious that they don't know as much. So this is a student that is teachable. See, the first one, there's no humility. The ignorant fool has no humility. They just think they know everything. So no matter how much you're trying to share with them, no matter how much you want to help them, they push it away because they don't know anything until karma becomes their best teacher. And usually comes with pain. So when they fall flat on their face, ouch, they go, okay, maybe there's certain things I don't know, I better admit it. So from the ignorant fool, they become a student. Right? Now, it's interesting that a student, this part I want to cover just a little bit. There's a factor there that makes the person teachable. One word, humility. A person has to be humble enough to say, hey, I don't know this subject. Someone please teach me. It's interesting. There's this saying, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. Have you heard that before? If you're a room of how many people, if you're the smartest one there and you want to grow, you are in the wrong room. Now, the ignorant fool loves it when they supposedly be the smartest person in the room, but not realizing that there are a lot of people smarter than them. They just think they are. Okay? So a student, a disciple, I just want to share this with you a little bit. The only way a student or disciple can be teachable is if they have the realization that, hey, I don't know as much, or I don't know anything about a particular subject. Let me look for a mentor and a teacher. Super, super important. Otherwise, very difficult to take them from a fool to a student. Okay, next one. You have conscious competence. So in other words, you have a disciple, a spiritual disciple, who part of him, the soul is knocking. Hey, you, wake up. They know they attend classes, they learn from teacher, they go, I have a sense there's more. I just sense that I'm being called. You heard that before? I'm being called to do more service. I'm being called to help more people. I'm being called to do this meditation, to do this prayer. I'm being called to this faraway land to help all these people in need. So there's a part of them that is conscious. Okay? There's a part of them that knows they have the skills, but somehow they're not there yet. So usually a teacher comes along and just gives them a little bit, opens up the key, and boom, they wake up. They go, oh, this is my life's path. This is the reason I incarnated. Make sense? So that is a dormant disciple. Now, of course, the last one, unconscious, let me see, let me make sure that's right. The final stage is called unconscious competence. That is what you call mastery. You go, wait, if they're unconscious of how good they are, no, don't take it literally that they're unconscious. In other words, they know it so well, it becomes second nature. It's just like somebody who's playing a piano or playing a musical instrument, right? At first, a person thinks they're Mozart, they're banging on the keys and they go, oh man, this is good. I know my stuff. They don't have a single clue. That's the fool, the ignorant fool, the unconscious incompetence. Then you have the conscious competence. There's this person, they play the piano, they go, they become aware that, hey, maybe I'm not that good. Maybe I need somebody to teach me. I can hit a few notes, but maybe I need somebody to guide me. A student. Then you have conscious competence, where that person somehow, they start playing the piano, they go, hey, I'm getting the hang of it. And this actually feels familiar. It feels good. And from there, just a little bit of guidance more from the teacher, they're prodigy. It's in them already. And the last one, of course, unconscious competence. When you watch people on stage putting up a concert, they don't go, which key goes with what? They don't even have, what do you call these things? Musical notes to look at. Just, okay, play. They close their eyes, the fingers just move. That's the master. So you see, these four types of people allows us, number one, to practice self-awareness. Number two, learn how to surround yourself with the right type of people. Number three, how to help people on different stages of their development. Okay, let's do this again. Self-awareness. Who am I? Am I the ignorant fool that's pretending to be the genius? Now, most of the time, we start there. And just to kind of give it a little bit of a context, Most people start there, and they're the ones that are the loudest. You heard the saying, an empty can makes noise? If you have a can, if it doesn't have anything, you hit it, bang, 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 it's loud. So the ignorant fool, the unconscious incompetent within us have a tendency to be compensating for the lack of knowledge. We most of the time start there. Most, not all. I did. I had a big mouth and think I know everything until I met my teacher. Go, oh, I don't know much. Make sense? So most people, again, we're talking about self-awareness. You start with what? Having this not knowing what I don't know, and yet try to compensate for it. Hopefully from there, you move on to the next stage, right? You move on to the next stage, you go, well, based on the last 5-10 years, me claiming to be the Messiah, me claiming to be the avatar, believe it or not, I've seen people like that. They come to class, they go, if you already know all this stuff, what the hell are you doing here? But anyway, they go, And the more I study, the more I realize how little I know. So maybe I should, maybe I should study further. Maybe I should learn from someone who knows more than me. I don't know if I can accept that, but okay. At some point, when nobody's watching, and I'm just being completely honest with myself, remember we always share with you what my teacher said. Practice what? Ruthless self-honesty. You go, okay, maybe I'm going to admit that I don't know anything. I'm just making things up. Or as I say, I'm BSing, right? Okay, let me learn something. And then we're now transitioning from what? The ignorant fool to the chela or the student. Where we go, okay, please teach me. And that requires humility. That part of it, the link, the missing link to go from the ignorant fool to the student is humility. Being able to admit, I don't know much, but I'm willing to learn. Now, at that point, you heard the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Right? Lao Tzu said that. So, at that point, the student learns. The student learns. The student learns. Now, here's the interesting part. From the conscious incompetence from the student to become a dormant disciple is a very, very fine line in which, as we know, we study, we learn, we start to realize we have certain dormant skills and talents that comes to the surface. That's why imagine you have a room full of students trying to learn piano. They're all novices, they're new, and somehow a few just rise to the top. Either with hard work, or somehow they go, hey, this feels easy. Now, you say, how could the person who is hard work also be considered dormant? You see, there are many types of skills. A dormant skill or quality is called, constancy of aim and effort, the virtue. In other words, within them, it's dormant. They procrastinate, but somehow when something triggers them, man, they focus. So even that is one of the signs of a dormant spiritual disciple or a dormant student. So at that point, here's the interesting part. When a so-called disciple, you see, the word disciple is connected to the word discipline. Interesting, huh? A disciple is an embodiment of discipline. The teacher says, do this meditation how many times a day? Do this practice. Practice purification of your soul. Do this. They follow. There's discipline. Make sense? That is the difference between just a student who go, okay, I'll learn, I'll study, to a person, not only will I study and learn, I will do it exactly how the teacher has given to me. That's why they're a dormant disciple. And as they practice, they learn, they practice, certain qualities come to the surface. On the spiritual path, these are lessons or qualities that soul has already learned in previous incarnations. They're lying dormant. All the teacher has to do is wake it up. That's why, to just kind of digress a little bit, most of you, or some of you who have studied Buddhism, have studied that when the Lord Buddha experienced his full enlightenment, which I'll cover in a minute, he saw energetically throughout the earth there were lotus flower buds. Not a fully lotus flower open yet, just a bud underneath the muddy waters. Under the muddy waters. And according to the story, the intelligent aspect of God, the creator aspect of God, Brahma, encouraged the Buddha to teach because he was not sure, are these souls ready? But somehow the creative aspect of God encouraged him he should teach. And so when he gave the teachings, those buds rose out of the muddy waters and become lotus flowers. Now that has many levels of understanding and interpretation. Let me just give you one of them. Basically, a lot of these souls are already dormant disciples. Through many, many lifetimes of spiritual practice, they're very, very close to experiencing full enlightenment. All the Lord Buddha had to do is give the teachings, and they bloomed. That's why the guru is called dispeller of darkness. Again, many levels of understanding. Darkness means the soul is still underwater in mud, still being partially entangled with the material desires, not realizing their true nature as a being of light. But once the student is really, really ready, have the strong yearning to be enlightened, by the way, enlightened meaning what? Realizing they are a being of light. The teacher gives the teachings, which is light, they bloom. Now, this is also symbolized. Some of you have heard of Buddhist stories where, as the Buddha was walking through the lake, anywhere he touched, his feet, when he's walking, anywhere he touched a part of the water, a flower opened up. Okay, some of you have heard that story, or at least that image where the Buddha's walking, and everywhere he touched, his foot it blew into a lotus flower, symbolizing that as he gave the teachings, the soul got out of the mud, the entanglement with the earthly life, and they become enlightened. So the dormant disciple requires a teacher to wake him up. That's why when I hear students or people who write books, they say, you don't need a teacher, you can do it yourself. Yeah, right. Whatever. You're still, let's just say, in the process of going through from one of these stages. Because when a student, even the ignorant fool, when they start to realize, hey, I don't really know much. And the more I know, the more I realize how little I know. Let me seek someone who knows so I don't have to suffer. That is intelligent and smart. While the ignorant fool, the dumbass, would say, I know everything, but they don't know anything. That's why we said earlier, humility is super, super important. Be humble enough to know, hey, I need someone to guide me and help me. And that's why in the Hindu tradition, I think the great teacher, I forgot which one, sorry, he said that there's several blessings a soul gets. A soul is blessed because the soul is able to incarnate into the physical body. The soul is blessed because the soul is yearning for liberation. The soul is really blessed when they're in the presence of a teacher who will help them gain that enlightenment. So the teacher is important. Now, I know I'm going back and forth. Now, as a Dharma disciple, continues to grow and learn, they become less dormant, right? They're now consciously competent. And part of that growth is, write this down, realization. Realization of their true nature. When they get to a point that they realize that there are no more lessons to learn, which for most of us will take a while, at that point, they become a realized or enlightened master. Now watch this. Remember, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's what Lao Tzu said, right? Now, most people forget the last part of that proverb. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is really ready, the teacher disappears. Because at that point, they don't need the teacher anymore, at least on one level of teaching. It's just like you went from an undergrad, you took your master's, at some point you have PhD on that subject, you're now the authority. Now, in spiritual teachings, of course, it's a lot more complicated because you're talking about different dimensions, which we'll talk about another time. But when a student, over many lifetimes and incarnations, learn lessons and been doing service, at some point there are no more lessons to learn. They're fully enlightened. They don't have to come back anymore. But many teachers choose to come back out of sheer compassion. It's just like after you graduate from the university, you go back to your school to help the undergrads because, man, I know how tough it was. If they only know the things I've learned when I was there, it will help them suffer less and be able to graduate faster or learn, get better grades. Same thing. So this is great spiritual masters. They choose to incarnate, to live among us, to teach us. As long as we don't stay the ignorant fool. Because if a student chooses, before the real student yet, chooses to be an ignorant fool, the teacher will say, hey, I'm too busy. Let me spend time with students that are worth my time. Students who are ready to learn, to be awakened, so they too can be great souls to do service to humanity and all beings. So this Persian proverb is amazingly, amazingly accurate and powerful. So let me just put it up again. He who knows not and doesn't know anything is a fool. Stay away from them because they infect you. They waste your time. He who knows not and knows. Okay? He knows he doesn't know as much. That's the student. The student who's willing to learn. He who knows and knows not, in other words, they have the potential within them. They just are not aware of their skills and how good they are. Then that student just needs a teacher to what? To make them bloom. And the last one, which we all aim for, he who knows and knows he's wise, follow him. You have a great teacher, study, learn, be humble enough to learn some more, and be able to take those teachings and serve more people. That's it. Powerful Persian proverb. And since yesterday, depends on the time zone, it's a Persian New Year, I thought we might honor that special day with these deeper teachings. So you see, even though that's ancient, when is this? In the 1970s, Noel Birch of Gordon Training International came up with the same thing, just in modern terminology. Unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. It's interesting with healing, it's the same thing. Let me just add that in. Then you have people who says, oh, I'm a great healer. Really? How many people have you helped? A lot. They just spit out stuff, right? That's the what? The unconscious incompetence. They don't know anything. They just think they do. They put up a sign, they put up internet stuff. I'm a healer, but they don't know anything. It's one of those fake it till you make it, but it's still faking. Then you have conscious incompetence. This is basically the say, I noticed that I need to learn more how so I can help people without contaminating myself, taking on their stuff. How come I kind of get drained when I work on people? Maybe there's a certain protocol I can learn, which we do in pranic healing that I'm sharing with you. So you take a class, you learn, then you go, oh, I have these skills. Then you practice, you practice, you practice. You work on so many people, help yourself, help other people. Then, before you know it, you're dormant disciple, conscious competence. And you start knowing, hey, how come when I'm working with this person with back pain, somehow I sense their back pain is not really due to back pain, it's due to an emotional blockage. And then from there, what happens? You have a teacher that mentors you, said, oh, that's because a lot of physical ailments, not all. Okay, I know this is another thing that people say, oh, physical problems are due to negative emotions. That's not true. Not all. A lot of them are. So you go, they teach you, okay, so how do you mitigate it? You clean the solar plexus, you do this, you do that, so you learn from the teacher, and at some point that becomes part of yours, and then more of the skills come to the surface. And at some point, you learn the material, you work on so many people, let's just say, a product of that product. You master the techniques to the extent that when you're healing, you don't go, let me see, how do I project this color? And you just kind of move because part of you has mastered it already. Somebody shows up, hey, you have this problem, let me scan, okay, this is what we need to do. You're not sitting there processing every step because it becomes unconscious already. It's part of you. So, again, Sali no Mubarak, Happy Persian New Year. Let's meditate. Oh, I forgot one thing. I know this is a longer lecture, so you're welcome to, we have this recorded, you can stop it, you can fast forward it, and everything. It's recorded. Remember we said the biggest part of this initially is what? Self-awareness. In other words, you look at these 4 types of people. Where am I? It creates self-awareness. And the second part is what type of people you surround yourself with. If you get a lot of people who are yes men, yes women, they just say yes, so on. A lot of them are, again, I apologize if it sounds bad, but they belong to the first category. The fool, the ignorant fool, where they just don't think, they just say, oh, okay, you're the boss, oh, yes. They don't process, they don't think, they don't study. They just say, whatever you say goes. Even though things are going down the toilet, they say, yes, everything's fine, because they don't know anything. And they think they know everything, but they don't. Make sense? So you have to choose the people you surround yourself. Not just quantity, but quality. Are they category 1, the ignorant fool? Are they the teachable student? Okay? Are they already a dormant disciple? They have training and everything. You just need to put them in the right position so the qualities will come to the surface. So step 1, self-awareness. Step 2, the awareness of the people around you. Step 3 is if you know people who are struggling, you think, is this person the ignorant fool category? Are they the teachable disciple, teachable student? Are they the dormant disciple or the master already? And this can be used from on all areas of life, not only about spirituality. It could be about science, it could be work, it could be relationship, it could be any of these. Now, of course, please, be nice. Don't start telling, by the way, you're the ignorant fool category. That's not going to help. People like that, you observe. You go, this person is teachable, this person is not. This person thinks they know everything, but in reality, they don't know nothing. Okay, let me stay away from this person. Or you go, they're teachable. How teachable? Let me assess. Yeah, they're humble enough, so I'll just do it gently. And if they want more, they will ask. So you teach them more. And you go, I think this person already has qualities. How do I wake it up? Here's one way to do it. Give him a reputation to live up to. Yeah. You already know, this person is good at organizing skills. Then you go, There's this new department in the company. I think it would require somebody who's very, very good at organization skills, good at strategizing, good at managing people. Why don't you do it? I assign you. Because you already saw the quality. And all you got to do is put them in place to make it bloom. That's it. And if you're in the presence of master, in whatever category, our attitude would be like that of a student or a disciple. Be humble, be humble, be willing to learn. And one last thing. Nobody, so as we know, is an expert on everything. No one's an expert in everything. You can get the best, most intelligent person, let's say in science, they might not know how to boil water or cook an egg without breaking the yolk. Get the idea? So knowledge is so wide, it's almost impossible to be let's just say, a master in everything. So you could have a person who's an ignorant fool when it comes to the kitchen, but they could be a master when it comes to molecular science. Right? So that's why these teachings go very, very deep. 4 types of people. As we learn these, we are able to assess ourselves, to know what type of people to surround ourselves, and to be able to help other people, because we get to assess and we get to know what type of people they are. Now, some of you might think, yeah, but that's judging. Absolutely. See, if you ever think that way, oh, that's so judgmental, here's your problem. I'll tell you in your face. You know what it is? You are fixated on the meaning of the word judge or judging. Because we do this every single day. In everything we do. Is it good? Is it bad? Between this one and this one, which way? You are making a judgment. All you're doing is differentiating and deciding what different options are and deciding which one's best. So when you look at the person, is this person belong to the ignorant fool category? Are they the humble are they humble student? Are they a dormant disciple? They're already a master in this field. That's what you're doing. You're deciding. Now, what's different is how you do it. If you tell them in their face, well, then, of course, you come across as the ignorant fool for doing it. Because somebody who knows his teaching won't do that. So don't get fixated. People, get stuck with a word. They don't go before and they hear the word, oh, man, you're saying this, you're judgmental. Yeah, absolutely. We do it every day. The problem comes when that word is laced with a negative emotion. When it's laced with a negative emotion, that's it. Finished. Every time you hear that word, it triggers you. That's one of the biggest blocks in learning. Keep that in mind. Okay, promise, we'll meditate. Okay, put your hands on your heart. Focus on the crown. I am that. I'm not the body, not the emotion or the thoughts. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine willpower. I am that, the soul, the spiritual self. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spirit in me. I am a child of God. I'm one with God. I'm one with all. There's only oneness. Okay, open your hands in blessing. We'll do a short meditation twin hearts as taught to us by my teacher, Grandmaster Chokok Sui of Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga. Imagine the earth in front of you. Be aware of the love within your heart. Feel that love in the form of beautiful pink light flow out of your heart through your hands and bless the entire earth. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred anywhere, let me sow love. Unconditional love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Where there's doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, let me sow hope. May all be blessed with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and with faith. So be it. Where there's darkness, let me sow light. Darkness is the ignorance of one's true nature, that we're all beings of light. May all be blessed with spiritual light and spiritual awakening. And where there is sadness, let me sow joy. So just be with your heart and your hands. Fill the earth with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and with faith, with light and with joy. So be it. So be it. Just be still. Now be with your heart. Take a deep breath. Lift that loving feeling from your heart to the top of your head and exhale. Stay there. Be still. Be aware of your crown. Your crown is filled with so much golden light. Allow that golden light to just slide down from your crown through your hands and bless the entire earth. Fill the earth with golden light. Our hearts are one, our souls are one. From the heart of God, through my soul, through my entire being, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with love and with kindness. May all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. So be it. Blessings be to all. Just be aware of your crown, be aware of your hands, fill your home with golden light, the homes of your relatives and friends, your workplace. Let the golden light spread throughout the city and all the cities in the world. Fill the entire earth with beautiful golden light. So be it. So be it. Now, be aware of your heart, your crown. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Imagine golden light even brighter than before pouring out of our hands and blessing our home once more. Bless all the people you love with this beautiful golden light. Your relatives, your friends, all the people you know, all the countries in the world, the entire earth is saturated with golden light, inside and out, in all dimensions. From the center of the heart of God, may every person, every being in the higher worlds, middle worlds, even the lower worlds, may all beings in every dimension, above and below, be blessed with God's unconditional love and kindness. May all be blessed with inner peace, inner healing. May all be healed of any pain, sorrow, or suffering. So be it. May all be blessed with understanding, harmony, goodwill, and the willingness to do good. So be it. Blessings be to all. So be it. Now gently lower your hands. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just imagine a beautiful golden flame floating above your head. Just a little bit above your head. Beautiful golden flame. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. From your heart, send a stream of love up to your throat, to the center of your head, to your crown, and into that golden light. Stay there. Just be aware of that golden light. And listen. Om. Allow your awareness to settle in that space before the next Om. Stay there. What is it like? Be still. Om. Om. still. Be aware of the inner stillness within you, the inner peace, and that beautiful inner light. Be still, be aware, and just simply let go. Let things be now. Gently, slowly, gently and slowly, come back to your body. Move your fingers, move your toes. Gently, slowly come back. Raise your hands in blessing. Picture the earth in front of you. Imagine all the people you love in front of you. Fill them with this beautiful golden light. May all be blessed with good health, with much happiness, with abundance and prosperity and spiritual oneness. So be it. Blessings be to all. Now be aware of your feet, the base of your spine, your hands. Just put your golden light down to the earth. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings to Mother Earth. So be it, so be it, and so it is. Just be still. Just let the energy keep flowing through you. Just let any excess energy go down, down to the earth. Blessings to all. So be it. Okay, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Tsokok Sui Mahaguji Mening, thank you in full faith. So be it. Okay. Open your eyes. I hope it's a good meditation. I know it's a long lecture, but you could write volumes on this. It's very, very deep. It has roots in Persia, also in Sanskrit, in Confucianism. It's also known as an Arab story. So it's universal, basically, what I'm trying to say. And it's interesting that I'll leave you with this thought. I remember my teacher say, God is super smart. God did not give the entire truth on something to just one culture, one religion, or one race. God distributed it. So it forces us to get along with everybody else who get the other pieces of the puzzle. That's called oneness. That's it. Namaste, everyone. Again, to our Persian spiritual brothers and sisters, Sali no Mubarak. Sorry for the Chinese accent, but I hope it works. Okay, we will see you for the next Anchor Light. God bless. And please share this with as many people as possible. And I would highly recommend, if you have the time, again, it's going to be online. Go back and take notes. Now, if you're on TikTok, they delete it after a certain while. So you just go to either masterco.org, panicking.com. It's on YouTube. Just look for Masterco. It is on Instagram and Facebook. So in other words, if you want to learn, you just run out of excuses. It's everywhere. We want to make sure we touch as many souls as possible. Namaste again. Take good care. God bless. And we'll see you in the next Anchor Light. Bye-bye.